So important to feel connected.
I know.
So take a moment, look closely at the screen, and flip it around, see who's here. Some of you with video, some of you with not. For those of you not on video, if you just imagine us all here, and really take everyone in. What a wonderful community we have.
No, nobody knows.
Let's take, and let me just do a reminder too. If you could mute yourself just for the service, that would be great. We'll have a chance to touch base afterwards. Let's take a nice deep breath of body air. As so many weeks go, there's ups and downs, twists and turns. We'll take a moment to acknowledge them. That's what we do on Shabbat, take a pause. So we'll breathe in everything that we want to hold on to, all those special events, time with friends or family, times where we saw something magical. And then we'll breathe out everything, all the traffic, all the busyness of the week. Okay, ready? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Bruce to officially welcome you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Cantor is finally getting her shivering Shabbat. We're finally having one. She's happy. I'm not recommending this, mind you, but if you want to get into the mood of it, turn off the heat in your house, open some windows, and you'll be shivering in no time at all. I don't recommend that. Anyway, we were saying before we started the live stream that good things did come out of the pandemic. And one of them is this: we never would have done a Zoom service before COVID. We would have done a service in the sanctuary. We would have done a live stream, but we never would have had the opportunity for all of us to be together in this way. And so tonight, on this very, 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 very cold night in Buffalo, when it made sense for us to not ask you guys to drive in and walk from your car to the building and be out in this dangerously cold weather, we have an opportunity to be together. And what a wonderful feeling it is. So I will be back later with announcements. Cantor and Rabbi have a wonderful service planned for tonight. So Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat shivering Shabbat Shalom at Shir Shalom. Say that 5 times fast.
Thank you, Bruce. Cantor's going to start her slides. And just so you know, this is Tu B'Shvat's coming up on Monday. We're going to have a lot of music related, and I'm going to share some surprising facts that I learned about Tu B'Shvat. It's a very interesting holiday. And Walter, you're going to like this. A lot of really interesting things. We're supposed to all say, "Aww."
Do you want us to be on camera or not? Oh, okay.
Just remember to mute. Everyone should be muted except for Cantor at this point.
Happy Tu B'Shvat, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to be singing some Tu B'Shvat songs tonight, some of my favorites. One of them is Atze Zaitim Omdim, Olive Trees Are Standing. It's in a conga beat. So if you want to try to sing along with me, there's la la la's in there, or through the whole thing, you can just keep saying Atze Zaitim Omdim. Or if your Hebrew isn't that well, you can say Olive Trees Are Standing. But we're going to do both either way. Try with me. Hatzizeti momdim, hatzizeti momdim, hatzizeti momdim, hatzizeti momdim. La 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 la. Hatzizeti momdim, hatzizeti momdim. zitim omdim, hatze zitim omdim, ya la 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 la, hatze zitim omdim, ya la 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 la, hatze zitim omdim, hatze zitim omdim, ya la 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 la, hatze zitim omdim, ya la 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 la, hatze zitim omdim, hatze zitim omdim. Olive trees are standing, olive trees are standing. Try with me. Olive trees are standing, olive trees are standing. La, 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 la. Olive trees are standing, olive trees are standing. La, 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 la. Olive trees are standing, olive trees are standing. Hatze zitim omdim, hatze zitim omdim.
Cantor, I was remembering how one night in Israel, in the north, I slept under an olive tree on Shabbat. It was a beautiful. Olive trees are some of the oldest trees in the world. Not the oldest, but they go way, way back, some of them. It's quite amazing. If you have Shabbat candles, you want to light with us, please get them out. I know in our family we already just lit, but if you'd like to light together with us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, b'tzivanu, lehadik ner shel Shabbat.
May the lights of our candles light our way through Shabbat, and we lift our Kiddush cups up as we sanctify the day of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh b'reshit, ki hu yom tefillah le'mikra'eh kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kiddashta, v'kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadosh haShabbat. Amen.
Amen. L'chaim. So as we were getting ready, Shabbat is waiting outside. Oh, look at that. I love that advice from a tree. Enjoy the view. Stand tall and proud. Be content with your natural beauty. Stop and smell the flowers. Let others enjoy your shade. Always remember your roots. And oh, this is very important for me. Drink plenty of water. So Shabbat is waiting for us as we, at whatever door we are, whether you're in Key West or you're in your home in Buffalo. So I think we're ready to let her in. We'll sing the first verse, the last verse. If you would like to rise, it's up to you. And then we'll wave to each other as if we're welcoming Shabbat into our room.
Lekakala, Nipini Shabbat, the Kabbalah. Lecha lecha dodi, lekakala, Nipini Shabbat, the Kabbalah, la 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 la. Lecha dodi, lekakala, Nipini Shabbat, the Kabbalah. Lecha lecha dodi, lekakala, Nipini Shabbat, the Kabbalah. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad, yishmi'aru elam echad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad, N'shem u'tiferet v'ritila la la. Everyone, Chad echad odi, v'kat v'kakala, v'nei b'nei Shabbat v'kabbalah. Lecha lecha dodi, v'kat v'kakala, Nipini Shabbat Kabbalah. Shamo v'sachor b'dibur echad, yishmi'aru elam echad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad, N'shem u'tiferet v'ritila la 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 la. Lecha dodi, v'kat v'kakala, Nipini Shabbat Kabbalah. Lecha lecha dodi, lekat v'kakala, Nipini Shabbat v'kabbalah, la 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 la. Lecha dodi, lekat v'kakala, Nipini Shabbat v'kabbalah. Lecha lecha dodi, lekat v'kakala, Nipini Shabbat
Enter in peace, O crown of your husband. Enter in gladness, enter in joy. Come to the people that keeps its faith. Enter, O bride, enter, O bride. I see Shabbat with us already. And if you're standing, why don't you remain standing for our call to prayer.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my sibling, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravi.
Ahat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chokim u'mishpatim Otanu limod etov Alekenu Adonai Eloheinu Shofteinu v'komeinu Nasiach b'mukatcha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed. Kircham Hayenu Te'oref Yameinu Uvaham Nenger Yomam V'layla V'yavatecha Ha'taseh b'man kol ha'olamim Baruch atah
turn to the Shema. We close our eyes as we affirm God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. Cantor will chant the V'ahavta.
Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
This week, in addition to being Tu B'Shvat, is Shabbat Shirah. Shabbat Shirah is the Shabbat where we read the Song of the Sea. The Mi Chamocha is the most famous lines from the Song of the Sea. It's something that we connect to every week as we move into freedom, or every day in the Jewish calendar, this Mi Chamocha. And this is our opportunity to sing with full force and celebration, just like our ancestors did.
Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. Try it again with me, everybody. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. La 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 la. Mi kamocha pa'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, norati lo b'sefer, norati lo b'sefer. Malechut karovu anecha. חוקי הים לפני משה, צליאנו ואמרו, צליאנו ואמרו, אדוני אלוהי עולם ואלוהים, אדוני אלוהי עולם ואלוהים. Here we go! Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Bless you, God, who redeems us Please read together with me. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai Paras, Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. We turn now to our private prayers, our tefillah. Take a moment now for that type of reflection, either with the traditional words or the words of your heart. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated as we'll resume. And if you want to turn off your cameras during this, that's okay as well. And we come back together to sing a little Tu B'Shvat song. Beautiful one.
I hope you'll sing along at your homes. There are plants and trees that give us nearly everything we need. But don't forget they started out as tiny little seeds. You can throw them in the air, or you can hold them in your hand. Someday those tiny seeds will grow and trees will fill the land. So take a little seed, plant it in the ground, and the seed will grow as the seasons flow with branches all around. And the seed will grow as the seasons In the Torah it is written, when we saw the promised land, we planted trees at every turn, for this was God's command. And today in modern Israel, where they made the desert bloom, in such a tiny country, for a tree there's always room. To the chorus. So take a little seed, plant it in the ground, and the seed will grow as the seasons flow, with branches all around. And the seed will grow as the seasons flow, with branches all around. In the Talmud is a story written many years ago, that every plant has a special star to teach it how to grow. If you happen to be planting and someone comes along, well, finish what you're doing and together sing this song. To the chorus. So take a little seed, plant it in the ground, and the seed will grow as the seasons flow, with branches all around. And the seed will grow as the seasons flow, with branches all around.
Such a fun song. It really goes for the history that we'll go over in just a minute too as well.
Very informative.
Yeah, you put a lot in that. Let's turn to our healing list at this point. We are thinking about as a community, Alan Bernstein, Marcia Bucci, Richard Zybak, Paula Sharavala, Gary Philippone, Sue Frank, Ida Frost, Ellen Goldstein, Esther Green, Karen Greenfield, Gary Greenfield, Carolyn Grosser, Bill Klein, Charlotte Krebs, Sharon Krebs, Ruth Lansing, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Bonnie Lillian, Jill Shire Monahan, Chip Madigan, Joel Rossi, Brandon Ryan, Renee Schwartz, Gertrude Sloan, Alan Strauss, Mike Wheeler, Miriam Batrezel, Gasha Batmasha, Hannah Ezra Ben Shul, and Ruben Ben Morris. If you have other names, just call them out, unmute and call them out.
Diane Sapphire,
Ray Kassir,
Paul and Jerry Cheney,
Lisa Steinfeld, Ruth Spivak,
Ryan Dowd,
Yonatan Gabriel Ben Israel,
We'll take all those.
Dignity,
We'll take all those names into our hearts as we sing the Misha Barak. If you want to type in anything, or if you're on Facebook, you can type people's names as well.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Nishem Berpa Imotenu Mekor Avraham Avotenu bless those in need of healing with refuah shenema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Complete healing of body and soul.
What is it?
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So nice to see you. Nice to be warm today. I'm going to take you through the history of Tu B'Shvat, which, as I said, it's a very fascinating holiday. And almost all the information I got is actually from one of my wife's books, Trees, Earth, and Torah, a Tu B'Shvat anthology. She actually spent a year, or most of a year, in Israel at a kibbutz there, and they did a lot of environmental work. This was edited by Ari Alon, Naomi Mara Hyman, and Arthur Waskow. And it is quite amazing when you look at the holiday and the journey that the holiday comes. It's amazing how it got from one to another. It's actually amazing there's a holiday at all. So let me take you through it. Some of you are familiar and some of you not, but there's a lot in here that I've never heard before. So hold on. All right, let's see if I can do this now. Joanne, do I have permission on here? Let me see.
Yes.
It's not giving me everything I want, so let's find out. All right. I'm sharing you, so that's funny. All right, let me do that. Oh, okay, you see it now. Okay. So these are the 4 branches of the Tu B'Shvat Seder. So what is Tu B'Shvat? I did this with the kids a couple of years ago, but this is just an easy way to see what it is, a Jewish holiday, how it comes to be. So first of all, Tu, what does that mean? It's not T-O, it's T-U, and it has to do with the Hebrew letters. Tet, which is 9, and Vav, which is 6, which equals 15. This is the middle of the month, and most Jewish holidays end up being in the middle of the month because it's the full moon. You can see in normal Hebrew, when you would do things, you would do Yud, which is 10, Yud Aleph is 11, Yud Bet is 12, Yud Gimel is 13, Yud Dalet is 14, and it should be Yud He. But because of God's name, they go down to the number before, Tet and Vav, and that's how you get 2. Okay, and Tet Zion is the same thing because that would be Yud Vav, so it's too close to God's name. The Ba, in, or with, and then Shabbat, I think a lot of you are familiar. It is one of the Hebrew months. Right over here, Shvat, it's spelled differently, sometimes S-H-V-A-T and sometimes S-H-E-V-A-T. Either way is acceptable. All right, so here are the 4 branches of Tu B'Shvat. A lot of things I didn't know about. So first of all, Tu B'Shvat starts out in the most Talmudic of ways. It's not a holiday at all. It comes from the Mishnah to Rosh Hashanah. This is a tractate that has to do with Rosh Hashanah, but it talks about the New Year's. And it says that there are 4 Jewish New Years. The first of Nisan is Passover. So first of Nisan is 15 days before, but that's the New Year of the Kings. First of Elul, New Year of Tithing. That's Elul, of course, is the month before Rosh Hashanah. First of Tishrei, the New Year for years, and we still treat it that way, and sabbatical years as well. And then it says the first of Shabbat is the New Year for the trees. And it says the first, not the 15th, but the house of Hillel adds on the 15th. That is the only mention of Tu B'Shvat in all of the tradition, and it is basically a tax. This is when you determine when the tithing would happen, not a holiday at all. And that is how it is here, just in short, those are the 4 Jewish years. Okay, so that's how it was until the 16th century. So between the 1st and 2nd century, the 16th century, Tu B'Shvat is not a holiday at all. But the Kabbalists reinvented completely, led by Ha'ari Yoskaro in Sfat. They go back to the tradition in Genesis, where it says God planted a garden in Eden and placed humans there who had been fashioned. And from the ground, God caused to go every tree that was pleasing to the sight and good for food, with the tree of life in the middle of garden and the tree of knowledge for good and bad. So one of the most surprising things I learned first is the Kabbalists actually believed they were going back to the tree of life. They weren't talking about every tree. They were specifically going to the Garden of Eden and the tree of life, which is what they were trying to do, get closer to God. And here it is from the Zohar. At the moment that the first stirring to create a universe arose in the divine will, he brought forth, that is God, from the spark of darkness, a mist that glowed in the midst of darkness. From its mist there emerged a single large and mighty tree with thick branches and fruit, having abundant sustenance in it for all. The tree ascends upwards to the very clouds of the heavens until it disappears from view. And the Kabbalists also were famous for creating Tu B'Shvat Seders. These are popular today, of course, where you take all types of nuts and fruits and you have a similar experience to a Passover Seder. They divided the Seder into 4 different parts. Atzilut, which is the world of being, it's equivalent of the Yud in God's name. And they would eat things with a hard outside and a soft inside. That would be, let's see, well, an orange is a good example of that. In Berea, the world of knowing, that's equivalent to the hay, they would eat something with a soft outside and a hard inside. That I forgot to put hard there. So that would be like a peach, where you have the pit. Yitzirah, the world of forming, you have a soft inside and out. That's like a strawberry that is completely edible. And then the last one, Asiya, the world of doing, a hay, and it had no fruits and nuts. Each time they were trying to release the holy sparks that would allow for God to come into the world. This is what it said in the anthology. They were the holy sparks of creation were imprisoned in the fruit. If you remember the story of the Kabbalist that Ari, the Joskari, told, is that God's light, it was so bright, it shattered the vessels and spread throughout. And it's our job to reclaim God's light. And even within eating, it's the way of reclaiming. So it went from not a holiday all, just a tithing, to a holiday under the Kabbalists. Then we go to the third one. This is the one I actually didn't know anything about. This is the Zionist version. And some of you are familiar, Tu B'Shvat, there's a famous song. Well, this actually goes back to the very late 20th century, early 19th century, where they would send kids out to plant trees in February. Now, raise your hand if you think it's a good idea to plant trees in February. Not a very good idea. Yeah, they all died. It was a terrible idea, but it was like a symbolic thing. And it actually was the first festival for teachers. It was written in their teacher contract. When they talked about festivals, it was not Rosh Hashanah or Passover. It was Tu B'Shvat. That's how important Tu B'Shvat was to the Zionists, to replant, to make the desert blue. And here you have in 1890, this was the original description. For the love of saplings, the school must make a festival of the day that was set aside from ancient times in Israel as the new year to the trees, to gracefully and beautifully arrange tree saplings, lilies, and flowers, just as they do in Europe on the 1st of May. Of course, the 1st of May was a much better time to plant. Here it is, the Cheder song. They had all sorts of songs like the Tu B'Shvat song. I don't know the melody, that maybe Cantor does. Open fields and green trees. Children carry spades. There, the teacher to the students teaches Aleph, that should say Aleph Bet, that's typo there. Sorry. This is the Torah. Gentle children, study, do not spurn, plant and sow this land. The spring dove returns. It was just a fervor. And guess what? The opening of the Knesset, the parliament of Israel, was on Tu B'Shvat. That's how important a day it was, on February 14th, 1949. Here you see a picture of that opening of the Israeli parliament, a huge, important, momentous day, and they chose Tu B'Shvat to do it. They have a description from this writer, Yom Tov Levinsky. In the early hours of the morning, Jerusalem's children were seen passing by in large groups, each by their standard dressed splendidly in Scouts uniform. For everyone involved in scouting, scouting is incredibly important in Israel. The kindergarten children, crowned with garlands and holding flower pots, crossed the streets singing and shouting for joy. Tu B'Shvat is here. Tu B'Shvat, hail to the trees New Year. At 9 o'clock, the orderly procession of school children and youth organizations began. Young planters with shovels and hoes in one hand, saplings in the other. At 10 o'clock, the procession of planters from the young generation was received by David Ben-Gurion. And on that day, thousands of trees were planted throughout the country in honor of the Knesset. You can see how important, actually stopped being as important after that, but this was kind of the peak moment during the opening of the Knesset. I also learned in this book that unfortunately there was a lot of nationalism on Tu B'Shvat. In addition to saying Tu B'Shvat is here, planting to the trees, they also would chant death to the Arabs. So there was a bad side of it as well. But that was all connected to this kind of Zionist vision. Then we get to the fourth side, and this is the fourth branch of it, which is really in modern times. I don't have a specific date in mind, but Rabbi Ellen Bernstein, who used to live near me in Mount Airy, I had no idea how important she was. She founded an organization in 1988 called Shomrei Adamah, which was the first environmental organization in the Jewish community, and in a way founded Eco-Judaism. This is kind of the mantra. They changed it into a holiday about ecology. On Tu B'Shvat, we are asked to overcome the fundamental flaw of our consciousness, our belief that we are masters of creation and the earth belongs to us. In the book, they say, this is the first time it moves from Israel to more of a global need, not just something that belongs in Israel. And part of the reason is that Tu B'Shvat didn't make a lot of sense to American Jews because it was so focused on Israel. It really only made sense in that place. Here's Rami Shapiro, who a lot of you know from the prayer book, a wonderful writer. For us, Tu B'Shvat is an opportunity for celebration. We stand in solidarity with nature and take up the challenge of personal and planetary renewal. The suffering of the earth, the imperfections of earthlings are not cause for despair, but calls for action. We celebrate the transformative power of God. We celebrate the regenerative power of nature. We celebrate tikkun power of humankind. We do not bemoan what is, but we see what can be. To set aside a day of this kind of power is to foster a Judaism one can never outgrow. So let me just stop the share. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Well, it wants to stay on there. Maybe if I go here, stop share. Okay. So as you can see, this has gone through many iterations. It's amazing. It starts as just one line and is transformed in all these different ways about completely different things. So it's really one of the most amazing holidays. As we think about it, it's not just, encompassing all of these different types of traditions. It also shows you how holidays and traditions can change and morph in beautiful and unexpected ways. Who knows what the next branch of Tu B'Shvat will be? Maybe it'll celebration of moving to Mars. Who knows? We'll have to see where it leads, but it's very exciting. I want to share also, Sheila had presented a poem. So since I have the share now, I'll just read it because that'll be easier. And thank you, Sheila. She always sends me the most beautiful poems. Cold days seem more frigid, exaggerated, heightened, and intense, as if trying to shock us out of our complacent hibernation. The biting chill, the sting, no more shocking than what our souls bear witness to. Life lost in vain, purposeless. Violence as tears sting, our hearts broken, a father, a brother, a son, a mother. We are still growing, a brand of heat like never before. Feel the frost, let it envelop your senses, just for a painful moment. Wait for the crocus to pop its sleepy head from the earth, reminding us of our vulnerability, as we too wait to welcome a new beginning and embrace the warmth that only compassion and kindness can bring. Feel the frost. She had an exclamation mark at the end. All right, so we're going to take all that in. I know Cantor has a song prepared for us as well. And it's one of my favorites.
It's a tree of life, the Torah. It is the tree of life to those that are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is the tree of life to those that are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It's time in the machzik, in the tomecha, meushar. It's time in the machzik, in the tomecha, meushar. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
I love how Cantor, your birds are singing with it for the tree of life. Isn't that perfect?
Makita loves this song.
Who can blame her? We'll rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת קרלה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וקורבננו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו
We'll turn to our mourner's Kaddish. Recent passings, Joe Celeste, Marlene Zubin DiCarlo, and Mitchell Klein. And we are also remembering in the past month, Teresa Barnack, Dr. Michael Bloom, Doreen Brockman Gold, Myrna Jerniski, Simon Marcus, Barry Swadron, Sylvia Wishnoff, and Lita Zingaro. And our yard site list from years past, we remember Adele Abelson, Yvette Berger, Joanne L. Capone, Meredith Cartman, Shirley Caviar, Fanny Suchman Cohen, Sarah Cohen, Hilda Collin, Marilyn Dudek, Jerome R. Ellis, Esther Falkowitz, Herman Feller, Esther Foti, Sam Friedman, Milton Freudenheim, David Gellin, Lawrence E. Goldberg, Saul Haber, Helen Heskins, Elsa Hutner, Robert H. Jacobson, Sidney Klein, Clara Rosenstein Levy, Frida Lieberman, David Lynn, Annette Lowinger, Rose Markel, Paul Pazukski, Mark Plone, Harry Posterman, Leah Reich, Clayton Robinson, Morris Schnittman, Ruth Sirota, Walter Stein, Louis Stringer, George Swadron, Rose Swadron, Alice Teplitsky, May Trippy, Adele Vogel, Susan Whaley, Leo Winters, and Paul Zimmerman. And that was for Susan Whaley. That is now the 13th anniversary. 14th, is it 14th this year? 2009 to 2013, 23, yeah. 14th now. If there's other names you want to mention, just feel free to say them now. All those whose custom it is to rise. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divrach, Uretei V'amlik Malchutei, V'chayachon, V'yamachon, V'chayedachol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav Yizman Kariv Yimramein, Yehi Shmei Rabbah V'rach Le'olam L'me'amaya, Yitbarak V'yishtabak V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, Yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal, Shmei Dekudashah Brechu, Le'elam Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbachata V'nechamata, Damiran V'yalma V'yimramein, Yehi Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya, Chaim Alei V'yal Kol Yisrael V'yimramein, Oseh Shalom V'yimramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Alei V'yal Kol Yisrael V'yal Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimru. May God grant peace to all of their souls and to our world when we say Amen. Zikronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. I'd like to invite back Bruce to offer announcements.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Welcome to Shivering Shabbat. A beautiful, warm service tonight by Rabbi and Cantor. Happy Tu B'Shvat, everyone. In honor of Tu B'Shvat, Rabbi, we are planting a tree in Israel in your name. Your day to water it is Thursday. So, but this Thursday, you will be there. So that actually works out okay. You can get the first one out of the way. Tomorrow morning, we have a virtual offering of Torah study at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Shabbat morning service will be in person. It's at 11 a.m. at Canterbury Woods. Please see our website for the link and bundle up if you go. Still going to be cold tomorrow morning, but not like tonight. We're definitely at the worst of it. Perm Spiel rehearsal coming up on Sunday. We have a wonderful spiel planned for you this year. It's Beach Boys music. Think about it. Beach Boys music and a Purim spiel. How can you go wrong? Niagara, Chautauqua, the spiel is gonna rock ya. North Tonawanda, it's gonna be a shanda. And that's not even in the spiel. What's in the spiel is better than that. So, good stuff coming. The spiel is Monday, March 6th. Spielers are hard at work rehearsing. It is going to be a hoot and a half. Rabbi, the announcements say that you are leading a discussion Wednesday morning. Is that happening?
Wednesday morning, no, Sunday morning, I have a class over at.
Oh, it is Sunday. Okay, got it. You're right. Okay, never mind.
Nothing on Wednesday.
I was going to say, because we're putting you to work if you're doing a class on Wednesday. Okay, good. Just that I read that wrong. Thank you. Those of you that don't know, the rabbi is taking off for Israel on Wednesday, part of the Civic Leaders trip. We want to wish him and everyone a wonderful and very safe trip as well. Before he leaves tomorrow, Sunday morning, he will be leading a case library discussion at Westminster Presbyterian Church that Sunday morning from 9 to 10. It is a class about Jewish extremism. Should be quite interesting. Community Religious School Sunday morning is off-site. They are at the Power Vista plant. If you have any questions about that, please contact our religious school director, Inab Simons. Speaking of the religious school, Community Religious School is the beneficiary of our Super Bowl squares. They are $10 or $20 a square. Obviously, you only have until late next week to make your purchase. Talk to Joanne about that. The boards are filling up fast, so make sure you reach out to Joanne. Cantor, I guess your guest accompanist tonight is rooting for the Eagles, right? They're related somehow. Wasn't that nice to have a little background singing when the Cantor was singing in real life? That was very cool.
I just got it, Bruce.
And you're from Philly. Oh my God. Well, we know who Rabbi Alex
It's the
is rooting
bird.
for.
Your bird is
Very good, Rabbi. It's a bird. Very good. No moss on you. Let me tell you. Sorry. We know who Rabbi Alex is going to be rooting for come Super Bowl Sunday because it's his hometown team. Thank goodness it is not the Eagles and the Bills because he would be torn. We know he'd root for the Bills, but his family would be very upset. So when the Bills make it to the Super Bowl next year, it will not be against the Eagles. He'll be safe. It'll be someone else. High Club drawings are continuing. They're every Wednesday through Purim. The tickets are $18. We have 3 winners each week, $18, $36, and $54. Grand prize will be drawn the night of the Purim Spiel, and those prizes are $180, $360, and $540. And if you win anytime up until then, your tickets go back in the pot. So there's a chance to win again and again and again. I've seen a couple duplicate names already in the winners, so that's kind of cool. Pickleball and pizza for our young members, age 9 and up, is tomorrow night at 6:30. You must RSVP by noon tomorrow. If you have any questions, talk to Joanne or our head pickle dude, David Sapphire. Winterfest is coming March 25th. It's more fest than winter because it's indoors. Todd wanted to do it under the tent. We said, no, you cannot do that. It is indoors in the social hall, but we are limiting the capacity because of social distancing and all of that. So make sure you get your reservations in. We're going to have a band. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have lots of fun. Make sure you get your reservation into Joanne. Other upcoming events are in the service leaflet, which, since we're remote this week, is available on our website. If you need anything at all, reach out to the rabbi, the cantor, Todd, Joanne, or myself, especially Todd, because he's where it's a lot warmer than Buffalo. So bombard him with anything that you need to make up for the fact that we're sitting here in 8-degree weather and he's in Florida. We are here for you, though, seriously. And by the way, does everyone have your cookies for tonight's Onig? If not, Joanne has not dropped them all off yet. So she's going to head out right after services and finish dropping. She's wrapped them. They're ready to go. So be waiting if you haven't gotten your cookies yet. Joanne.
Bruce, I'm leaving to deliver Walter and Diane's first.
There you go. She's giving me the look. You know, you have the look, Joanne. I don't have the look because I'm just an uncle. But you're a mother. You get the look. You have the look. And she was giving it to me. My nephews have told me many times, Uncle Bruce, you don't have the look. If you would like to sponsor an Onig for any reason at all, a special occasion or no occasion at all, contact Joanne. We've had some lovely sponsored Onigs in the last several weeks that have been in memory of loved ones, and it's been kind of nice, but it doesn't have to be in memory of someone. It can be in honor of a special event, a joyous thing, or like I said, no reason at all. You can sponsor an Onig and do the announcements that night. You can be a guest announcer. All you have to do is make sure we have cakes. That's all. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll be, I'm sure, back in person next week. Rabbi, safe travels to Israel.
Thank you, Bruce. I'll be gone from Wednesday till the following Thursday, and Cantor is going to be leading next week. We're still trying to secure, but we have a speaker from Jewish Family Service that will likely be with us next week to talk about all that they're doing. And I just want to welcome. We have Dimitri with us, Dishlovi, and we're just a wonderful new Buffalonian resident. So I hope you all have a chance to to meet him in person. Wonderful person.
Welcome, welcome. Joanne, real quick, next Friday night, we'll be, I'm sure, back in person. They're still working in the sanctuary, right? So we'll be down the hall one more time, or will we
Yes.
be back in the sanctuary?
Most likely in the open area.
Okay. Which is a nice setting for those of you that have not been there in person. It's a nice intimate setting for a service, and we enjoy being down there. It's a very nice substitute for our sanctuary. So if you're been thinking about checking that out, please do join us next Friday night.
So we're gonna have another song for Tu B'Shvat. It's one of the more popular Tu B'Shvat songs. It would have been sung by the kids walking and planting the plants at the Knesset.
Actually, in your slides, you were quoting this song, which was at the Knesset. Yeah. Ashkeri al koracha, shemen hazoracha, tziporim berosh korka, nivas rotet kohecha, tu b'shvat egia, chag ha'ilano, tu b'shvat egia, chag ha'ilano. The almond trees are growing, the golden sun is glowing, the birds sing out from the birds sing out in joyous glee, from every roof and every tree. Tu B'Shvat is here, the Jewish Arbor Day. Hail the trees, New Year, happy holiday. Tu B'Shvat egia, Chag ha'Ilanot. Tu B'Shvat egia, Chag ha'Ilanot.
And Joanne is going to lead us in Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And this concludes our service today. Please stay around if you want to chat. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom. Please stay warm, and may we have many opportunities to be together in the near future.
Safe travels, Rabbi Alex.
Yeah.
Safe travels.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited. It's got an amazing group that's going with me. I'm really looking forward to get to know all the people. We just got one of the Supreme Court justices in New York State is going to be on our trip.
Wow. Wow.
Wow,
Neat.
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Should be really amazing, and it's great plan. So we'll see. And I already got COVID out of the way, so that's all.
Okay, that's a
You're
good
good.
plan. That's
You're
very
good.
good. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Stay warm.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Thank you.
Shalom.
Bye, guys. Shabbat Shalom. Bye now.
Good night, everyone.
But shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.